I've been a huge fan of Mini Metro and Mini Motorways for a long time, and even though this is apparently not by the same dev and it looks exactly the same, I've really already been kind of obsessed with the new Mini Airways demo that I've been playing. So let's dive in here today and try out this new game, and I'll show you what's going on with it. Just have a nice chill time. Basically, the premise of this game is that we are air traffic controllers trying to direct our planes to go to their destination. And you see these little gray planes coming in.
Cleared to land.
They gotta land. And these other circle planes, they come down here and they have to take off. But you have to make sure that these boxes around them don't ever collide or the circles touch, because then you crash your plane and that would be bad. But as you see as they come off here, you can sort of just drag and direct where they go. If the angle is too steep, you gotta kind of fly them in the right direction so that they can fit into the runway here and land safely. And you also don't want to drop
Runway 09, cleared for takeoff.
a new plane to take off before the old one. And you see as this one comes in, it's gonna crash. So
Heading 090.
let's tell it to go in a different direction. I'm gonna tell this guy to take off too.
Runway 09er.
And then I'm going to tell this guy to come around and this guy to land. And you see, this is just kind of like the nice, it seems relaxed at first until things start to get hectic. If you've played Mini Motorways or something, you know
Cleared for takeoff.
this looks exactly the same. You have the day counter. At the end of the day, we're going to get an upgrade, and that'll let us do some extra fun stuff.
Cleared to land.
But for now, I'm just going to tell these guys to go around. You see, it's nice, it's chill, it's easy. As soon as somebody takes off, I'll show you. I'll put this guy down. As soon as I let go,
Cleared for takeoff.
there they go. They're going to start to take off. And tell this guy to go this way.
285.
And then as soon as, yeah, that little white circle pops up,
Heading 050.
that lets you know that they're ready to be controlled and directed. They're up in the air enough. And then you see this guy's little white arrow, and this guy's got a little orange arrow. It's because this guy's heading to the destination, and this guy was just told to go a direction.
Fly heading 105.
So the goal of the game is to land the planes to get points and send these guys off to their new direction to get more
Cleared for
points.
takeoff.
And basically just it's survive as long as possible without screwing up. So we'll show you the upgrades in a moment, and you'll get a sense of like
Destination.
how the game progresses, and just more and more you see pop up, and it just gets wild.
Cleared to
So
land.
this is gonna be both stressful and relaxing. All right, here we go. Finally, the upgrades. So every week they'll give you 3 different choices, and then these are changed randomly depending on the week. Waiting area just increases the available hold area. So down here at the bottom, when you've got planes queued up to take off, so far we don't have that many because it's still early, but this is incredibly useful to not lose the game by making people wait too long to take off, especially in the late game, as you just have so many planes trying to land too. The runway can actually get pretty full to be able to land them. This navigation waypoint, you'll see as I like direct these planes to their little dots, those are waypoints as well as the destinations for the other people, so they can you can kind of click at them and direct them directly to the waypoint. But then the arrow waypoint navigation lets you place a waypoint that then immediately sends the plane in another direction, so it redirects the plane automatically for you. But honestly, this is not my favorite. I wouldn't pick this because you can pause the game and just redirect the plane as long as you're paying attention, I think. That's not as useful. And then expedite, that just lets them turn faster, and as it says, it can be stacked so they can get tighter and tighter turns instead of having to take wider bursts. This one's pretty useful, but the most useful by far is the waiting area, because like I said, as things get crazier, I'll see I have a plane coming in here, and then I might not have enough time to drop this guy down and get them to take off.
Cleared for takeoff.
Just in between so many other things going on. I'm going to speed up the speed a little bit so that we can kind of get along with the game. Like I said, I played this for a lot of hours so far, kind of obsessed. So I got a pretty good handle, at least on the early game, until we hit around 100 planes or so, when things start to get wild. I want to slow things down a little bit. But right now it's as of today at least, free demo on Steam, and I'm certainly getting my money's worth out of it. The other thing you want to make sure to do is to not take off a plane when there's another plane still landing on the runway. Another good tip I found is,
runway 27, cleared to land.
As you're directing your planes, you're gonna want to get into like a bit of a circle with it, where I could take off the plane in the other direction, but I gotta wait till this guy finishes disappearing before I do that. Otherwise, I'll crash into each other. And the point of the game is to not crash into each other. So it can get pretty tight once things start getting a little bit more crowded up in here. But you see, like, this guy's coming in from this direction. I could direct this guy to come in from the other direction. And that's all well and good. And we are back up. See, when I put it on fast speed, it takes us a lot faster to get along here. So I got the waypoint again. This is a new one, the hold waypoint. So again, you can direct them to a little dot on the screen that you can move around. And what they do is they just circle around the dot until you tell them to go somewhere else. This, I don't know. I tried it. It could be useful, but I'm just going to take waiting area again. I found this to be the #1 upgrade that gives me the most. Anyway, like I was saying, this guy's coming in this direction. You can come in from the other direction, but I might not want to take off this way right now because, well, obviously we just go straight up and crash into this guy. But if I come in from the other direction, take off from the other way, I got a lot more time and space to kind of get out of the way if I come off in the opposite direction. And then there's no problem with just looping around, doing some circles, rather than coming off directly at the destination direction. And I've got just enough time to squeeze in this guy to take off. And you'll see my queue is starting to get fuller. So we want to stay ahead of this, because if enough planes are waiting down here, that's another way that you can lose the game. This guy's too steep. Let's go around. Let's have this guy land instead. And then let's just do a little circle. Because this guy's coming in from this direction, I'm going to head this guy off in the other direction. And because I don't want to just send this up to the orange thing and maybe crash into that blue guy, I'm going to just try to avoid that and send these guys around by setting this guy a little higher before we send him to the destination. There we go. And let's take off this way, and we'll direct this guy. You got to make sure you direct them to their waypoint and get that color to change to make sure it goes ahead. Okay, so we got a new upgrade this week. The exit is just, see this little circle at the bottom of the waiting area? That means those are the planes that I can pick from to choose to take off. So maybe I would want to choose a plane that's a different color to take off in a different direction to get it there a little faster. It could be handy, but you can't really take off more than one plane at once from the runway. At least this is the first map. It has a single runway, so definitely not. I'm going to stick with waiting area. Like I said, in my experience of playing the game for over 12 hours now, that is by far the best thing to get.
Vector to destination.
Let's get this guy in. And this guy's just been circling around, but let's get some more planes coming up here. Things are starting to get more wild. Make sure you don't touch circles when you drop. That's like, when I first started playing this game, that was the most easy thing to get wrong. And as I'm explaining this, I'm probably not playing great. But yeah, just making small mistakes like click errors like that has been the bane of some of my playthroughs, at least the early ones, or even the later ones, as you kind of go along, and you just make a small mistake or something gets a little too close, a little too tight.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 09er.
All right, let's try to get some more planes out here as these guys come into land. There's enough space in between most of the time that you can direct them to land. And you see, they kind of, like, they all fly at the same speed, which is nice. This guy can maybe take off, just barely. So that's about as tight as you can stack these up to go.
Clear to land.
Why do I take such risks? Okay, the last upgrade to get is the airspace upgrade, which just expands the map. You might have noticed the map's been just expanding naturally, but this is a great one because it will give you a little bit more airspace to direct your planes around. The other way you lose the game is if one of these planes flies off the border, so having more airspace is also really useful. I would say take airspace or the expedited turning if you don't have waiting available. Alright, we're just going to continue on playing here, sending some more planes off to their destination. Again, don't take off in the direction of the plane that's landing. Another thing that can happen too, which you really don't want to do if you have planes coming in from opposite directions, you might think you have enough time to get both planes down, but you'll be surprised to find out that sometimes there's a slight chance that the plane fails to land, and then it will just continue on straight coming off. And then, well, then what are you going to do? The new plane's coming down to land. You make some emergency maneuvers, try to get out of the way, but, you know, sometimes you don't have enough time. It's too tight. So, something to be careful of. That's why I kind of like to find a flow, and I think just like real air traffic controlling, you know, circles around make a lot more sense. And you see the new ones coming off the edge, they give you a little warning to show you to maybe avoid the area or be extra aware of it. Again, waiting area, best upgrade. This guy's gonna fly in, this guy's gonna take off, try to get all my planes up in the air while I can. And keep the flow going in the same direction.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 27. Vector to waypoint. Vector to waypoint.
Where's the
Vector
yellow?
to destination.
There we go.
Runway
Fly in
27,
there.
Clear to land.
Let's get
Clear
this
to
other
takeoff.
yellow up in the
Runway
air
27. Clear to land. Runway 09.
direct them around. Alright, and you see these little color dots, they actually
Fly
change
heading 080.
positions.
Cleared for takeoff.
These two are coming in at the same time. Or is it going to be too tight? Maybe just barely. Yeah, I want to fly this guy off, because if this guy lands while this guy's still landing, bad news, bad news. So try to make sure you time those reasonably. Let's send the red guy off in this direction, and as soon as this guy's blinking, you're pretty much safe to drop this guy to start taking off. There's just enough time in between. And so long as the circles don't touch, you can drop another one. Let's make sure we don't crash into each other. So the nice thing is the pause function. So when things start getting extra wild, this is gonna really come in handy, to say the least.
Vector to waypoint.
You can kind of direct some people around. I think I told this guy to come in a little too tight
Vector to destination.
on this point here, so you see he's kind of stuck circling around. So that's bad. You don't want that. So you might have to fiddle around and manually push these guys off. I'm gonna send this guy
Vector to waypoint.
to the waypoint and then over there. Just helps to have a little space marker,
Cleared for takeoff. Runway
and
27.
we'll try to line these planes up.
Fly heading 110. Fly heading 180. Fly heading 290. Vector to destination.
There we go.
Fly heading 265.
This guy can go in there, and
Fly
let's
heading
make sure that they're
295.
not gonna collide.
Fly heading 160.
Alright, so this is the first time I don't have a waiting expansion, so I could do airspace or expedite. I think I'm going to do expedite in this case, but airspace is also useful.
Fly heading 050.
Let's make sure we're directing everybody in the right positions, and things are getting a little wild now. I might turn the speed back
Watch
down.
boundary. Watch boundary.
Yeah, there you go. You see the boundary is also an issue. Let's
Runway
send this
27,
guy into the
clear to
runway.
land.
And let's turn this
Fly
guy
heading
around so he can
095.
come in from the same direction this time. Let's make
Vector
sure
to
the orange
destination.
goes to the orange destination, and let's wait for this guy to come in.
Fly heading 255.
Okay. So I'm going to send this guy kind of around in a big loop to come in from the same direction as the rest of the planes. There's not a ton of planes out right now. I could probably squeeze in coming in from the other direction, but I'm just kind of getting into the flow as we get up higher in the score. Things are just going to get more wild, so might as well take care of business here. I think I got enough time. I can squeeze this guy in that direction. You don't have to use the waypoints. I just find them kind of useful sometimes to give me the right position. And let's send this guy right in. This guy can probably head in that direction too. And let's launch this other plane so we get them up in the air and we can start heading them over. Watch the border.
Vector to destination.
Yeah, isn't this relaxing?
Fly heading 095. Runway 27 cleared for takeoff. Clear to land. Runway 27.
Send this new one in directly, and that way, once these guys get all the way around,
Fly heading 005.
watch out for the new one coming in.
Vector
Send
to
this guy
destination.
directly up to the destination. Oop, send this
Fly
guy
heading
that way.
085.
No crashes, no crashes. Everybody's
Clear for takeoff.
fine.
Runway 27.
This guy will come in behind. Should be... See, they're all moving at the same speed, so they're nicely
Fly heading
positioned.
130.
Let's go the long
Fly
way
heading
around.
080.
There we
Runway
go.
27 cleared for takeoff.
Nope, don't
Fly
go that
heading
way.
050. Watch boundary. Watch fly heading 175.
Don't go off the border, and fly
Runway
directly
27, cleared to land.
to land.
Watch boundary. Watch boundary.
Oop, this way.
Fly heading 090. Fly heading 090.
This guy's around that direction.
Cleared to land.
This guy can land.
Fly heading
Maybe head that way.
070. Watch boundary. Watch boundary.
Pause.
Fly heading 095.
Let's launch our new next plane.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 27.
Everything's going great.
Fly heading 235. Fly heading 050. Watch boundary. Fly heading 020.
I like that they
Clear
give
to
you all
land.
these audio warnings so that you know that
Fly heading 175.
you're paying attention. The only audio warning I wish I got was like a little blip when I notice, because what happens to me is these guys start piling up because I'm so focused on trying to land planes that sometimes I don't notice when the new ones are available, and I should be
Vector
paying
to
more
destination.
attention. But let's head off
Fly heading 030.
up like this. Oh, what? Oh, that almost. This guy came in from off the
155.
edge and almost crashed into me because I wasn't paying attention, like I just said.
Runway 27, clear to land.
All right, let's
Fly
get this
heading
guy
095.
in the line here.
Fly heading 085.
And red can head up in that direction.
Vector to
Yellow, you can
destination.
go there. And then, so see, this is what I was talking about when things start to get a little bit more crazy in
Clear
terms
for
of
takeoff.
having enough space to take off
Fly heading
in between
175.
all of the landing planes.
Fly heading 095.
So we just squeezed in there. Let's
Runway
tell this
27,
guy to
clear
land. This guy
Vector to
can go
destination.
here. Go that way. Maybe go a
Fly
little bit
heading
more that way
305.
first.
Vector to waypoint.
Perfect. Look at this flow. Look at this beautiful flow.
Vector to destination. Clear to land.
Let's get
Clear
this
for
yellow
takeoff.
guy. See, this is what I'm talking about. I didn't notice the yellow guy was there, and I
Watch
had enough
boundary, watch
space
boundary.
to get him out,
Fly heading
so I gotta pay
190.
attention when these pop up.
Watch boundary. Watch boundary. Vector to waypoint. Vector to destination.
And then they disappear when they land, so
Watch
all
boundary.
is
Watch
good.
boundary.
Let's send
Vector to
these up
waypoint.
there. Okay, this guy's gonna go
Runway
direct
27,
to
clear to land.
fly to land. Let's get this guy a little
Fly
further
heading
down so
130.
that this one coming in doesn't come crashing into us, and then we'll
Fly heading
tell them to
085.
join the queue.
Fly heading 095.
This guy can fly directly to... Oh, see, another blue guy popped up.
Cleared for takeoff.
Let's get him
Runway
launched,
27. Watch boundary. Watch boundary. Vector to waypoint.
and we'll make him come around in the queue here. Alright, these two are a little too close for me to get them nicely lined up in the queue, but maybe we can sneak in this plane coming up from the bottom in between. And meanwhile, I'm going to send this
boundary,
guy
watch boundary.
the
Clear
long
to
way
land.
around.
Runway 27. Fly
See
heading
if we can
305.
squeeze these in
Fly heading
between each other.
100. Fly heading 120.
Getting tight. Oh, and then another orange guy to take off. Ready to go.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 27. Watch boundary, watch boundary. Fly heading 175. Fly heading
Maybe you can
225.
squeeze in instead. I'm going to send
Fly
this guy
heading
around the long
265.
way. I'm not sure if he's going to
Fly
have enough
heading 345.
space to get in between.
Runway 27. Clear to land.
Yeah, definitely
Traffic.
not.
Traffic.
Definitely not. Abort, abort.
Fly heading 230.
This guy can
Runway
head in that
27.
direction.
Clear to land.
You're good to go.
Fly heading 045.
And let's see if we can squeeze in a takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff. Fly heading 050. Clear to land. Runway 27.
Yeah, you can squeeze in there. Perfect. Just enough space. This guy's going to go the long way around. Oh, don't go off the edge.
Fly heading 155. Fly heading 325. Fly heading 265. Fly heading 090.
Okay. Yeah, you
Clear
go
to land.
straight in.
Runway 27.
And you fly
Vector to
around. There should be
destination.
enough space for you to get around there. And then, oh, make sure the blue goes around
Watch
the orange.
boundary, watch boundary.
We'll head them in that direction. Orange should be gone. No risk
Cleared
of
for
crash. Get these guys out while we can.
Watch boundary, watch boundary.
And yeah, watch that boundary.
Runway
Get
27.
everybody
Cleared to land.
flying in here. I might be able to squeeze another plane in between these two guys.
Vector to destination. Fly heading 120.
Yeah.
Cleared to land.
Let's
Runway
get this guy
27.
in, and let's try to
Traffic.
take off before
Cleared for takeoff.
this guy comes in.
Traffic. Traffic. Fly heading 070. Fly heading 130.
Okay. Whew. All right, things are starting to
Fly
get more
heading
intense.
070.
And we've got another guy coming in here.
Cleared to land. Runway
Can
27.
you get in?
Traffic. Traffic.
No. Abort. Abort.
Fly heading 175.
Abort. Abort.
Watch boundary. Watch boundary. Cleared to land. Fly heading 185. Vector to waypoint.
Whew.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 27.
All right,
Fly
you go
heading
around.
270.
Oh, we got another plane coming in from the side here.
Fly heading
Should be
085.
fine to join the queue.
Vector to waypoint.
Everything's fine. Yellow
Vector to
goes
destination.
around.
Fly heading 265.
Red
Vector to
goes straight up
destination.
there.
Fly heading 005.
We'll just go around the red. Make sure this
Cleared
guy's
to
coming
land.
in.
Runway 27.
I always got to make sure I don't forget my queue here. Can this guy
Cleared to
squeeze in
land.
still?
Runway 27.
Second attempt here. This can fly
Cleared
right
to
in.
land.
It should. I'll tell him to
Fly
go down
heading
a little
190.
first.
Traffic. Traffic.
Ooh. No, I don't think
Fly
there's
heading
going to be enough
270.
space. Yeah,
Cleared for
because it takes
takeoff.
them a little bit of time to land.
Cleared to land.
So
Runway
you don't
27.
want to have them
Fly
landing
heading
on top of each
245.
other. This guy
Fly
can
heading 160.
hop the line though.
Vector to waypoint.
Let's get this orange guy in the air too before the big Q comes in. Oh, see the little flashing red there. It was
Watch
getting tight.
boundary.
Oh,
Watch boundary.
thanks
Fly
for the
heading
warning.
090.
This is why playing with
Fly
audio
heading
is super
340.
helpful. This guy can
Fly
fly
heading
down,
190.
and this guy can fly
Fly
that way.
heading 190. Vector to destination.
Great, everything's going great.
Clear to land. Runway 27.
Right up in the queue there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Red, take off.
Runway 27 cleared for takeoff. Fly heading 075.
Oh,
Fly heading 160.
Get out of the way.
Vector to destination.
This guy
Runway
should
27,
fly
clear to
directly
land.
to land.
Fly heading 100. Fly heading 095.
And let's get these guys in line here too. Oh, don't fly off the edge. Don't fly off the
Fly heading
edge.
050.
New guy coming in here.
Fly heading
This guy
095.
in line.
Fly heading 165.
You land. You should perfectly queue up after this guy, pretty much.
Fly heading 005.
And let's make sure we
Clear
get
for
these
takeoff.
planes taking
Runway
off.
27.
Will I have enough time?
Watch boundary.
Probably not.
Fly heading 095. Traffic. Traffic. Fly heading 005.
Ooh, just barely made it. Squeezed
Vector
that
to
one through.
destination. Watch boundary. Watch boundary.
Send this
Fly
guy
heading
down.
110.
This guy should be landing. This should
Fly
go
heading
around.
165.
This
Fly
guy
heading
can go down
130.
too. Are you having fun yet?
Cleared for takeoff.
Let's
Runway
send Green
27.
around. Let's
Fly
get
heading
this guy join the
150.
queue.
Fly heading 155.
Let's get this guy to land.
Traffic. Traffic.
Oh! Where'd you come from?
Fly heading 020. Traffic. Vector to waypoint.
You know what? I'm just gonna play it safe and make sure you avoid each other. The biggest thing to notice is seeing problems ahead of time as much as possible, so that you don't, because the planes move kind of slow.
Fly heading
You
245.
can't necessarily have enough time to redirect them if you didn't notice already, basically.
Fly heading 090. Fly heading 110.
Alright, let's pad our waiting area out. And let's get this red guy back to the destination. Alright, now we have to make sure we land our planes. Get this guy to
Runway
land.
27, clear to land.
Oh, and then these guys were gonna crash into each other, but we'll just make sure they don't. This one can send around. Let's join the circle.
Cleared for takeoff.
Take a nice, big, broad berth.
Vector to destination. Watch boundary. Watch boundary. Fly heading
Down.
105.
And you notice this guy's kind of going the wrong way. This is when the game gets a little
Fly
trickier.
heading 265.
And you see I've always got new ones to pop out. So
Vector to destination.
I'm actually loving the way the color dots are placed right now, though, because seems my setup I'm able to avoid a lot of the problems here.
Clear to land. Fly heading 080.
This guy coming in should
Fly
head
heading
directly
130.
in the opposite direction. Oh, and no, see, now I finally got some queued up planes that need to take off. I'm gonna have to squeeze them in between here. I'm gonna send this
Fly
guy
heading
around
245.
and wait for it. This one's got to go up.
Fly heading
This one's got to
335.
go
Fly heading
over.
085. Fly heading 085.
This one should try to land, and this
Fly
guy should
heading
head in that
090.
direction. And we get ready and drop.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 27.
Get ready. Drop.
Cleared for takeoff. Fly heading 275.
Okay.
Fly
Send the
heading
red
235.
down a bit. Get this guy
Runway
coming
27.
in.
Cleared to land.
Get this
Fly
guy in
heading
the queue.
100. Fly heading 330. Fly heading 055.
probably
Watch boundary. Watch boundary
join here.
050.
Oh, and the red dot moved. Oh no. Or did it? I wasn't paying attention. I'm trying to get all these planes out, and there's just not enough time to do it in.
Vector to destination.
Wait. Oh, I didn't even notice this guy flying off the edge until it was too late. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is how you lose the game and make a mistake. But we did pretty well. We're in the top 1%. It's not my high score. I cracked 200 in my last playthrough, but hey, this was fun. I thought I'd show off the game, have a little fun. It's something different for the channel. Let me know if this is the kind of thing you want to see. I thought about doing Mini Motorways like regularly, daily, or something, just, you know, to have some fun. I'm loving this game. Check it out. It's for free on Steam demo at the moment. I'm going to squeeze as much juice out of this as I can while I can. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you had a nice day.